So here's the Google search for Vancouver intellectual property lawyer. If you look through the results, none of the URLs actually says Vancouver intellectual property lawyer. All right? They all have something unique about them. If you look at Vancouver Internet Marketer, same thing. They all have something unique to them. They use the name in the title of the page, but none of them use it in their actual brand. All right? Same thing with Vancouver Realtor. And you can do this over and over and over again. So the only one, for example, here, realtor.ca, is not a brand of a particular realtor. It's a website that accumulates information about tons of those realtors. So the benefits of dumping generic name in the brand or in the URL are very, very, very questionable. And in fact, the best way to deal with this is have both branding and SEO just targeted differently. There are 4 types of trademarks or brands in terms of their trademarkability and protectability. Unique brands, something that hasn't existed, that's not a common word, think Google, right? The word wasn't there and now there is. Suggestive, it's something that kind of suggests what it's about but doesn't really tell us. In online brands, it would probably be something like Facebook or LiveJournal. Descriptive is something that describes the service so much that anybody understands what it's about. And generic is, Vancouver intellectual property lawyer. So you can't go even more generic than that. So the good strategy around this would be to have unique or suggestive brands for brands, and descriptive and generic stuff should be left to the SEO, as in page titles, as in content. So you dump all of that stuff in the actual page and in how you promote your brand. But the brand itself should stand out, because when you see the 10 listings on Google, really very few people click on the first one and forget about it, forget about the rest. They still will search different ones, and just having that generic name as part of your business is not going to be of much help. So how do you check if your brand is unique? Google it. Just put your brand in Google as it is, the entire brand, and see what comes up. If you see a lot of hits, it's something to consider. So just Google it. Just Google it in quotation marks, because that reduces the number of hits. And if you see a lot of hits with your brand in quotes, then you definitely have a problem. Then have just, for example, if your brand has several words, have each of them preceded by a plus, so that, again, you can see the entries that have all of those words in the name. Or what often happens is we have the brand that's made up with several words and only one of them is really distinctive, whereas the rest are descriptive. So for example, Mincov Law Corporation, right? Law Corporation is generic, but I could search Mincov and see if that's found a lot on the web, right? So Google just that particular part and do all of those and add location, right? So just Google it Canada, or just Google it Vancouver, or just Google it BC, or just Google it in quotation marks plus location, stuff like that. It will give you a very good idea of what's out there and what's your competition. And same thing, all of those 4 first ones with the category of what you do, right? So if it's ABC Marketing Company, so ABC Marketing, right? If you're selling books, ABC plus books. Right? The next thing to check is this great resource, domainsbot.com, which allows you to search for the domain name or the brand, and it will show you different combinations of domain names that are available. If all of your domain names are taken by somebody, it gives you a good idea that you will have a problem with your online presence, and that you will have to explain to somebody on the phone that, oh yeah, we have a dash here, or we actually have this Z instead of S, and that's a big pain in the butt. So you don't want that. So check if you can register many domain names that match your brand. Another great resource is namecheck.com, and it's not a misspelling. It doesn't have vowels in the end. And what it does, it allows you to search over 150 social media platforms for your brand or username. Again, if you put your brand in there and you realize that Facebook page is taken, YouTube page is taken, Twitter is taken, you will quickly see that you have a problem with this brand. Maybe it's a good idea to find something else. Do the trademark search in Canada, and I code as a hobby, so what I've done is I scripted a better version of the trademark search, because as all government websites, the Canadian Intellectual Property Office's website is full of great information, but it's very unvisual, let's put it this way. It's very difficult to figure out what it is presented to you. So what I've done is I process the information that I get from their website, and you get it in a table with color coding as to what's registered, what's applied for, what's dead, and it's a lot easier to just go over those registrations to see if their registrations create a problem. And here's how you search. Most people really don't know how to do that, and it's very similar to Googling. So again, just search it with quotation marks, just search it without quotation marks, search for different words, and add the same thing, adding specific category where you are. So if the name is ABC, you put ABC in one area, and books in the second area, saying we're looking, books should be found in the field that's called wares and services. Right? This will allow you to narrow down the field of what's out there. Also do the search in the US. For online businesses and online brands, it's really critical because they're obviously a much bigger market than we are. And if you want to be online and sell your stuff online, it's important that they don't have somebody who came up with your idea first. So I didn't script their website's responses, but it's a quick way to get there, because otherwise it's like 25 different clicks to get to this page, so it's a lot easier to do it this way. And same thing, only in US they don't call it wares, they call it goods. All right.